Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Pancare's Living Well series webinar. My name is Kara Markovic, and I'm the head of programs at the Pancare Foundation. Our topic today is improving your emotional well-being through mindfulness, and we have a wonderful presenter in Sabina Vitacca. First, we would like to state our acknowledgement of country. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Pancare Foundation acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. For those of you new to Pancare, we extend our warmest welcome to our community, which supports Australians affected by upper gastrointestinal cancers, pancreatic, esophageal, stomach, liver, and bile duct cancers. This includes those directly affected by these cancers, their caregivers, and their families. And we also support education and awareness for healthcare professionals as well. So welcome to those professionals online today. For those of you who haven't joined in to Pancare's Living Well series before, our aim was to establish a series of presentations bringing the pancreatic and upper GI cancer communities together over what has been a very difficult year with the pandemic. With a generous support from the Dry July Foundation, who made this series possible, Pancare has developed the Living Well series to ensure that people affected by these cancers still have access to vital information, education, and support, despite the challenges and the uncertainty that COVID restrictions have created for those living with an upper GI cancer. To assist patients and carers to access timely, specialized, and life-changing support and services soon after diagnosis to improve outcomes and ultimately live well with pancreatic and upper GI cancer. Thirdly, to help everyone in our community hear the message that we are here to make sure you don't have to face cancer alone. A couple of technical tips for the audience today. Our goal for today's presentation is to make the session as interactive as possible between the presenter and you in the audience. Even though the speakers can't see the audience, there are several features in the platform that can help you capture your questions and comments throughout the presentation. First, we will have a poll during the presentation. Our presenter will ask a question, and which will be up on the screen for you to see, and then you'll be prompted on your screen to answer. The answers across the audience will be collated, posted, and discussed by the presenter. Secondly, we have a new chat function box. So we encourage you to use this throughout the live session to ask questions of the presenter, and your question will be live, meaning that it will be seen by everyone on the call. So your name will be seen as you've registered. If you want to ask an anonymous question, please send it through the technical support tab that you'll see. So there are several boxes. You'll have a video, you'll have a slide, a technical support, and a chat function. And all of these boxes or windows can be resized to the size of your screen. So if you're on a smaller laptop screen, you can fit all of those in just by resizing it. There's also a technical support tab that will allow you to ask technical support questions behind the scenes without the audience seeing. If you have technical issues, if your bandwidth is slow or something, the video you can't get to resize, you can always ask a question of technical support, and there's some technical support behind the scenes that will help you. At the end of the session, we will have a survey, and we would be very appreciative if you could complete the very short survey at the end. It'll take you a few seconds, and your answers will help us deliver a better presentation in future. So now on to the introductions. We're so excited to hear from Sabina Vitacca today, who's the founder and developer of the Meditate Now one-on-one mindfulness model. With a decade-long career as a corporate coach in London and across Australia, Sabina is an experienced educator and professional facilitator, helping hundreds of people through workshops and one-on-one meditation sessions. Sabina may look familiar to some of you in the Pancare community, as she's worked with Pancare and our Pan support team previously in helping at several Pancare education days. One of those days was focused on wellness and the other on mindfulness, and support for our programs for those affected by pancreatic and upper GI cancer. Well, thanks for Sabina for being here again. Today, she'll take us through meditation and mindfulness with the goal of helping us change our mindset from the common and deeply set belief that feeling tired and anxious is just the way life is, to the new mindset of feeling less stressed, less frustrated, and less overwhelmed. You'll even get to put Sabina's methodology into practice today. So Sabina's program fits very well with Pancare's new focus on emotional well-being. For those of you who may not know Mira Patel, Mira is Pancare's dedicated counselor, helping those affected by upper GI cancers through their journey with one-on-one counseling sessions. She started with Pancare during Melbourne's second harsh lockdown last year in September, and she has developed Pancare's counseling service since then. With her calm and caring approach, Mira has helped many patients and carers navigate their experience and challenges with upper GI cancer. So Mira will be speaking as well today, but first I'll hand over to Sabina. Thanks, Sabina.
Thank you so much for the introduction, and also Pancare Foundation for inviting me along. I'm very excited to be here. What I'd love to see is just for you to get familiar with the chat box. So if you can just pop in hello, that way I know you're there, I can connect with you. I would love to be there with you in person. And as we know, due to the restrictions, we started accommodating online, and that means that it's making it more accessible. So there are some really positive things to being online. But one of the things that I really do miss is connecting with you and getting a sense of you in the room. So even just you saying hello and connecting with me, smiley faces, they all begin to really make a difference in creating this group dynamic session. So lovely to see you all, and thank you for saying hello and good day. Hello everybody, that's great. All right, so today we're going to be talking about mindfulness and supporting your journey using mindfulness and meditation. So to begin, I wanted to explore, what is mindfulness and meditation? It gets flown around a bit and it is a bit of a buzzword. So I wanted to just break it down to begin with. Mindfulness at the core is about being present in the current moment, in your thoughts, actions, and behaviours. Now that sounds quite simple, but in reality, we know that is quite challenging. It's about being present in the moment with thoughts, actions, and behaviours. But let's explore the journey that you're going through at the moment. Hospitals, treatments, all the information that you're getting. And being mindful in the moment isn't always an easy thing to do because it is challenging. So how do we create being present and mindful in those moments that you don't want to be mindful and present? And we'll be exploring that as well. And what are the benefits of being mindful? We talk a lot about the research and the study, and that is a bit of a buzzword at the moment. We're going to break that down and look at why is it important to you to be mindful, and where is it important for you to be mindful in this journey. So to begin, I want to share a poll with you. And the poll is talking about how often we are present in the moment. So there's a stat by Harvard Study Review showing us how often we are not present in the moment. So it's not present. So think about the percentage of how often you are not present in the moment. Perhaps it's work colleagues, perhaps it's your family and friends. If you can think just a general percentage of how often you think you are not present in the moment and how often others are not present in the moment. And I get some amazing responses around this. I get some, 90% to 10% and so forth. So it's really interesting to see that, what's going to come out of today. So we have the results in. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay. I'll just wait a few more moments for them to come in. Okay. This is quite interesting because out of a lot of the workshops that I've run, not often does the group get it correct in that it's in that ballpark? So 46.9% of the time we are not present in the moment. So this is quite interesting because we have 25% of the group that said, 40% of the group said about 25% of the time we are present in the moment, not present in the moment. 50% of the time we are not present in the moment. So that's really interesting to begin to see that difference. Sandra said it was 80% of the time we are not present in the moment. So what I want to do with this, if we know that it's 46.9% of the time we are not present in the moment, and so that's half of the time we are not present in the moment, can you write in the chat box what impact that has? So what impact do you think that has on your day-to-day life? When you're talking to someone and you know that they are only listening to you with one ear and really not with the other, half of the time they are there present speaking to us and then they're not. When you're talking to your kids, when you're talking to your family, your partner's only listening to you half the time. When you're driving, what are the implications at work when you are there only half of the time? So please write in the chat box, what is the impact of you not being present? And so we talk about mindfulness, being present in the moment, and the benefits around that. What I want to do is take another angle around what actually happens when we're not present. What is the reality of our day-to-day when we are not present? And that is what I'm really curious to hear from you, is when we are not present, we're missing out on important connections, was one of the responses. One of the other responses was we're forgetting names. And that might be a small thing, but what is the impact of when you're not connecting with someone with their name, or someone that you know? You should know their name and you're just forgetting it. So inattention and misinformation and being misunderstood? Absolutely. And if we talk about work context, or if we talk about personal context, misunderstanding leads to a lot of miscommunication and a lot of angst, inner turmoil that perhaps could be avoided. What else do we have? We have not being present in the moment. You miss out on I love this one. Not being present in the moment, you miss out on the beauty of the present experience. And we retell old stories of the past and worry about the future. Absolutely, John. At the moment, the journey that you're going through at the moment, it's quite easy to not always see the beauty in the present moment. We are flooded with so much information in the past and the future and the worry and the incessant thinking that being present in the moment is quite challenging. And as John said, we miss out on the present moment and the beauty that it holds within. And it might just be the beauty of the breath moving in and out, really feeling that sensation. You might be listening to a bird and the beautiful sounds that the birds create. Maybe a gum leaf, you're walking down the path and you get a gum leaf and you crush it and you smell it and you're in that present moment. Beauty is everywhere that you go. So it's exploring being present in the moment and capturing those moments of beauty. When we're not present, we miss out on enjoying the here and now. That is really important. It's coming up a lot in this conversation. Colin, losing the flow of conversation. That's frustrating. We're having this conversation, we're going through detail, and then we find the conversation isn't flowing because the person wasn't listening, or you weren't listening. So that being present in the moment is really important and has that impact. Rhonda, forgetfulness and lack of concentration. Absolutely. When we're not present, we are not being as effective as what we could be. We're being forgetful. We're overwhelmed. We're stressed. Incessant thinking. Wasting the potential of the moments. Jennifer, I love that. Even more so considering the group that we're with today, because it's looking at those moments that we have and that present and that beauty that we can all find in those moments. Cornelia, the lack of concentration and lower production of work. Absolutely. I'm loving all of these charts. And all of them really highlight the importance of not being present. And so why I wanted to stress that is because we talk about a lot of studies over the years. The studies have increased to thousands. The research is amazing. But what has happened as a result is that mindfulness is a bit of a buzzword, and it lists what the pros are of this technique. But what I really wanted to demonstrate in that is what are the practical results for you. If you were to be more present in your life, what impact would that make? And from the chat, we can see that it would help you be more present in the moment and see the beauty. It would help you with that lack of concentration to be present, and so many other real reasons day to day as to why that would be so impactful. So I wanted to just touch on meditation and mindfulness and what is the difference. So the two definitions that I wanted to bring up today is mindfulness is a method of training your attention so that you can bring it where you want and keep it where you want. Now that's a great definition of being present in the moment versus not being present in the moment. So you've got your attention and you're keeping it focused on where it is. So you're walking down the park and you're present, you're noticing your feet on the ground, the nature around you, and you're being really present. Versus what we just spoke about not being present, and that's 46.9% of the time you are not present in the moment. Meditation, on the other hand, is a technique that allows you to relax the body and calm the mind. Now, with meditation, there are thousands of different types of meditation. So we are talking quite generally. It's a bit like if you were to say sports. And under sports, you have so many different types of sports: volleyball, football, soccer, so forth. And meditation is exactly like that. One of the things I wanted to raise by demonstrating that it is so vast and different is that if you've tried meditation and you think that's not for me, I couldn't empty my mind, that wasn't right, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I want you to just give it an opportunity to try it again and see what that looks like. Because there are so many different styles, and it's about finding the style that suits you, that works for you. So a meditation that is sitting and having your eyes closed is maybe not always the right fit. You may be someone who moves a lot and maybe an A-type personality. So the idea of sitting is really a struggle and overwhelming. So how do we be present in the moment and adapt a meditation to suit you and your temperament? And that's what we'll be touching on today. When we spoke about mindfulness, I feel like kids are our best teachers. They really demonstrate what it looks like to be present in the moment. When we talk about mindfulness and it being a buzzword, what's happened as a consequence is that we add mindfulness and meditation onto our to-do lists. We add it like a task, like it's a chore, it's something that we have to do. We know the benefits of it. And what I want to challenge on that is, can mindfulness be something that arises within us? Can mindfulness not just be something that we put on, but something that we become? It's a way of being, not a way of doing. So exploring mindfulness, being present in the moment, and this is a beautiful example of mindful eating and being present in the moment, arising from that visceral internal experience rather than adding it like a chore. So let's explore that now. She's great. I love her. Now, she really demonstrated what it means to be present in the moment and enjoying that moment. It's a simple moment, and a lot of you spoke about that in the chat. Being present in the moment allows you to connect and be really present and adapt to those beautiful things around you that we sometimes miss. And she really conveyed what it means to do that. It was fantastic. I love watching that every time. I don't lose interest because she's doing it from a place of, I'm enjoying this. And it shows in her body and in the way that she's just expressing herself. I wanted to just talk a little bit about the science, as I feel that is important. As I go along, I'd really love for that interaction. So if you find that you'd like to write a question in the chat box while I'm talking, please feel free to do that. And at the end, I'll have a look at that. So if you want to just make a comment and interact that way or ask questions as I go along, I would absolutely love to connect with you even further. So, neuroplasticity and the science of it. Neuroplasticity, for those, some of you may have heard of it, but the core of it is about new neural pathways in our brain created according to what we practice and train in. So, for example, if we repeat a certain thing, then the neural pathways and our brain actually rewires itself according to what we repeat. So if we look at our society, or if we look at what we've trained ourselves up until now, whether it's being mindful or being distracted, which one do you think we've been training ourselves in? Have we been training ourselves to be more mindful and present, or have we been training ourselves to be distracted? So just write in the chat box what you think. And so creating that awareness around, let's start being in the driver's seat, around going forward. What percentage are you not present in the moment? And just with this little knowledge and awareness, do you want to change that by, say, 5%? Maybe 5% over in a month, being more present and noticing what impact that has. It'd be like an experiment on yourself. So if we know that the brain changes itself and rewires itself, it's an opportunity that we have. And now that we have this awareness, we're like, right, we can actually train ourselves to be more present. And at the moment, Julie says we've been training ourselves in distraction. John says we've been training to multitask. Tanya says we've been distracted and encouraged to multitask. Absolutely. And I want to say on that, just very briefly, is that multitasking is a myth. We do not multitask, we actually switch. And every time we switch, we lose 3 seconds. And so that, supports us getting overwhelmed. We make mistakes, it takes longer, and the list goes on. So multitasking, just briefly, if you want to look into it, please do research, and it will just explain to you why multitasking is a myth. And yes, we have trained ourselves to multitask. So how do we now kind of change that to be more present in the moment? The other thing I wanted to point out is, imagine that this is your brain. This part of the brain, the front, is called the prefrontal cortex. And this part of the brain at the back is the amygdala. Now, the amygdala does an amazing thing. It helps us survive when we are under threat. The amygdala gets hijacked, and then it says to the rest of the body, we are under threat. There's a tiger running after us, and we need to survive. So it actually helps the rest of our body, switches off digestion, does all these amazing things to support us to survive when we're under threat. So when the amygdala is hijacked, the prefrontal cortex does this. It goes offline. It is impaired. So what is the role of the prefrontal cortex? Why is that important? The prefrontal cortex role is to help you make decisions, is the thinking part, is the analytical part of the brain. And so this, let's call it the CEO part of the brain, is impaired when you are under stress. And I don't mean, some stress is great, that we're talking about excessive stress and stress that sets off your amygdala hijack. Now, the amygdala hijack will be set off when we are under threat. The other thing I want to point out here is that when we are under perceived threat or real threat, our body interprets it the same way. And this is where, when you are under stress, you forget people's names, or you'll get all foggy, or you've experienced this, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, it impairs. The CEO part of your brain impairs, and it affects your thinking and being present in the moment. So the importance of relaxation, being present in the moment, is, yes, everything that you listed in the chat box, but it's also psychological and physical as well. It's about supporting your body to recover, to nurture, to nourish oneself, to move out of fight and flight into the relaxation response in the body, to give your body the best opportunity to be as healthy as possible, especially during this journey. So how do we do that? How do we move ourselves out of stress into the present moment? Because we know that from the chat box and some other examples is we know when we're in the present moment, then we capture the beauty. We're not thinking about the past or the future. We are present with what is. As I said, children are our best teachers. So I'm going to show you a little video on that. But before I do that, I want to just demonstrate that the mind, heart and body are all a holistic piece where we explore, we're being mindful with our mind, with our heart and with our body. So when that little girl was being mindful and eating the soup, she was fully present and engaged with all those three things. And it wasn't a chore, it wasn't something she had to put on. So in that, start thinking about, what is your passion? What helps you be present in the moment organically? Is it gardening? Is it walking? What are the things that really nourish you to be present in the moment? And it's not a chore, it's something you enjoy. Perhaps you don't get to do it any longer because you're struggling with time or things to do, but what did you love doing? And maybe you can start writing some of those in the chat box. What do you love doing? What did you love doing in the past that allows you to be present in the moment? Unwavering presence, like time just goes by and you didn't even realize it. And you're just creating so much joy in that present. So having to think about, what is it that allows you to be present in the moment or in the past? Now let's look at the video of the children talking about mindfulness and meditation. And I do not know where some of these kids, these examples and the amygdala and they start talking about the prefrontal cortex. It's amazing. I would just, I'm really keen to see where children are being taught mindfulness and meditation at school today. And it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes in the future. If only we were taught meditation and mindfulness as a school, as a skill and a technique to be able to navigate, not change things, but it's how do we navigate with better ease. All right, enjoy this little clip.
I get really mad when my brother hits me a lot. I don't like it when you say you don't want to play with me.
When I'm mad, my brain can get a headache and it can start hurting.
Your blood keeps pumping because you're like really mad. And you start to get sweaty because you're getting really, really mad. And then when you start getting really mad, you turn red.
When your body can't really control yourself, mad just takes over your body.
I just get out of control. It's kind of like if you had a jar and then the jar would be your brain and then you put glitter in the jar and that would be how you would feel like. If you shook up the jar and the glitter went everywhere, that would be how your mind looks. And it's like spinning around and then you don't have any time to think. and you sometimes punch stuff and people when you don't really mean it. When I get angry, I feel it in my heart. I really don't like when I get angry. The amygdala really reacts, but the prefrontal cortex tries to keep it down. When I feel like I want to, get really angry and yell, I just sometimes, take deep breaths. First you find a place where you can be alone, then you find some way to relax and calm down. When I need to calm down, I take deep breaths. I breathe in through my nose. Sometimes I close my eyes or just take deep breaths. It's calming down, it's not moving. It's slowing down and then it stops. And the heart pumps slow and then it goes into your brain. It's all the sparkles are at the bottom of your brain. My brain slows down and then I feel more calm and then I'm ready to speak to that person.
Demonstration of that being present in the moment, the meditation techniques and how they adapted it for them. I loved how one child said, when I'm angry, I feel it in my heart. And when I get angry, I want to punch things, or the emotions arise. And how do we use meditation to observe them? Because it's not about ignoring them, it's not about escaping. It's about accepting and sitting with them. So what I would like to do now is, shall we have a go at bringing the sparkles down? An opportunity to just do a very short meditation with you now, maybe 3 minutes. An opportunity to observe and experience if the sparkles come down for you. Looking at what does that look like? So when you're ready, for some of you, you've never meditated before, and I know that some of you online have meditated before and are quite experienced at it. So I'd love to, for those that are experienced, I would love 3 qualities to bring into this practice: curiosity, openness, and compassion. Let's bring in those 3 qualities: openness, curiosity, and compassion. If you're new to meditation, I really want to present this as, do not try to get this perfect. There are no rules about this. There is no right or wrong. It's about a practice, and we will get better with it over time. What we're trying to do with meditation is to focus on one single point at a time, or to be present and aware. And as I said, there are so many different types of meditation. But in this practice, what we're doing is I will guide it, and I'll ask you to focus on different things. And when you are present in the moment, focusing on them, you'll notice that there's thinking, past, future, things pop up. That's perfectly okay, and it's a natural process of meditating and stilling the mind. But what I'd like you to do is bring your focus back to being present in the moment. So you'll get distracted, you'll come back to the moment, you'll get distracted, come back to the moment. I want you to know that it's a very natural part of the process to keep on getting distracted. And rather than seeing it as annoying, I'd rather you see it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to go, I just got distracted, I'll come back to my focus. So being really focused and present in the moment. Alright, so when you're ready, you want your body to be relaxed yet alert. So not one where you're slouched, or if you're tired, I would suggest not laying on the ground. But we'll do this one seated in chairs, as it's more accessible that you can take when you're waiting at the hospital or when you're waiting in different areas. All you need to do is close your eyes, relax your body, and if you don't want to close your eyes, just softly gaze at the point in front of you. Alright, when you're ready, just connecting with your body in the present moment. Taking a deeper breath in, and that allows you to really support and connect you to be present, even more so in the moment. Taking another 2 deeper breaths to get a sensation of your abdomen, chest, shoulders, everything begin to move. And notice how they're moving. Breathing in and out. In. And now returning back to your normal breath. Not trying to push or try to make the breath a certain way, but observing the breath as you inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I'd like you to bring your attention now to your feet planted on the ground. Noticing the contact that your feet have with the ground, being present in the moment. On the exhale, imagine your feet softening into the ground. Inhaling, exhaling, relaxing your body. Your legs, all the muscles in your legs. Inhaling, and on the exhale, softening your legs. Your back, feeling all the muscles in your back. And on the exhale, softening the muscles in your back area. Inhaling, exhaling, bringing your attention to your abdomen. In and out. On the out breath, softening your breath in your abdomen. Your chest, inhaling, exhaling, softening your chest. As you get to your shoulders, I'd like you to see if you can just physically drop your shoulders as you exhale. It might be a really slight movement. Inhaling and exhaling. Your arms, allowing them to soften on the out breath. Your feet, now your neck. Imagine you're giving yourself a mental massage in your neck, in your face and your head. Out breath, relaxing. And the out breath, letting go. And on the out breath, allowing your body to soften. Soon we'll be bringing it to a close. So just taking 2 deeper breaths, and at the end of the second breath, opening your eyes and bringing the meditation to a close. Okay, so just opening your eyes and bringing that meditation to a close. How did you find that? Just sharing how that was, and then what we're going to do is, that was a 4 minutes, sorry I went over a little, that was a 4-minute meditation, and I want you to notice how you feel only after 4 minutes. So if you had a stress scale of 10 being really stressed and 0 being relaxed, before and after, do you think it made a difference? If so, how much of a difference did it make? Was it 1 or 2 or 3 notches on that scale? So 10 being really stressed and 0 being relaxed. In 4 minutes, what impact did that make? I know it was good, but if we can give it a tangible number of what you think and what impact that made, that would be great. Okay, so I want to demonstrate a couple of things that you can do in the moment, say at hospital, or some other activities that you can do. Maybe you've got a bit of time to wait and you want to go for a walk in the park. Look at these mini meditations, and we'll explore some spot meditations that we can do in the present moment. And then I'll go through the chat box and explore some of those, the difference that 4 minutes made. So for the first picture, it's someone opening the door. And the door is being opened. So when you're being mindful in the moment, we're not just opening the door and not thinking about and thinking about other things. We're being present in the moment, opening the door. Your feet on the ground, the contact with the door handle. Is it cold? Is it warm? It's really being present, moving from thinking into sensing. That's what meditation is. Meditation is about moving from thinking to sensing. Sensing the body, sensing the sight, the sounds, the smells, all of that. The phone. When we look at the phone, when we pick it up, do we take a breath in and go, hello? Really connecting with the other person online, connecting with ourselves, taking that one breath, and may only be one breath. But remember, if we're creating neural pathways in our brain, depending on what we practice, if we keep practicing the one breath, that will begin to make a difference over time. Exercise, and some of you mentioned running, and that's the joy that you get about being present in the moment. So could you incorporate mindfulness in running? Maybe it's not a meditation, but you could possibly do a meditation before the running. You look at, there are different activities that you can do in your day. So in the chat box, this is your time to be a bit creative and to explore how do you be present in the moment. What are some of the techniques that you use that maybe others might find really helpful? So let's explore that. Cara, I like the idea of being able to switch off and reset in just a few moments. Absolutely, thank you. Colin, I feel more relaxed at 3. So there's been a change in 3 in the notches. Julie, 4, helping me be present in the moment, very relaxing, 7. Now, I want you to identify that in 4 minutes, you were able to drop from 3, 4, 7. On average, when I do this in a workshop, it's about 1 or 2 notches. So the fact that you've been able to experience such a difference on that scale makes me think that this could be a really useful technique for you to do in the moment, in the waiting room, in different areas. So I hope that has given you an opportunity to explore how you can start bringing this into your day. Meditation is not just something that you do at the beginning of the day, the end of the day, or at lunchtime when you find some time. It is about how do you incorporate it into the day. And that, my friends, is where the best results are reaped. It's about integrating it into your day, being mindful into everything that you are doing, bringing meditation, spot meditations, only 1 or 2 minutes, and you can find different ways of doing that. So on that, I wanted to just show you this little clip. We won't watch it all, but what I wanted to demonstrate with that is that we all have different styles. And meditation and mindfulness is about finding your style, not copying or following anyone else's, but finding yours. And on that, I'd like to introduce you to Mira, who is going to take you further into what is available as part of Pancare and being able to support you. Over to you, Mira.
Thank you, Sabina. That was fantastic. Thank you, and Cara. Good afternoon to everyone listening today. I'm Mira, and I work with the PAN support team at Pancare as a patient and carer counsellor, focusing on emotional well-being. So we know that cancer diagnosis can have a significant impact on everything in your life. There is an awful lot to manage. Just as you address your biological and physical needs with your medical team, look after any financial or practical affairs, it is equally important to take care of your emotional well-being. So when we talk about emotional well-being, it means having the ability to look after our emotional needs. It is about being able to understand and appreciate the value of our emotions and use them to move our lives into a positive direction. So caring for our emotional well-being can have a positive impact as you navigate some of the physical challenges of your diagnosis. So as Sabina has shown, there's this strong connection between mind, heart and body, what we think, feel and experience physically. During the course of their cancer diagnosis, many people have shared how their emotions are up and down, that they are on an emotional roller coaster, that they experience a whole range of emotions, and this is very normal. And additionally, for those who care for their loved ones and support them, they too often speak about this roller coaster of emotions. This is very normal. So during our counselling support sessions, we work together to formulate a step-by-step, day-by-day, individualized self-care plan that works for you, starting with recognizing how you're feeling, where you find the hardest, what you find the hardest about caring for yourself, where you feel challenged the most emotionally, and then finding the answers, tools, and strategies that work for you best, like integrating mindfulness into your daily routine in order to cope emotionally. The most important thing is to reach out and seek support from your family, friends, our team at Pancare, and through our online support groups, where you can meet other group members who may be going through similar experiences to yourself. So it's important to know you're not alone, and you can book in using this email and phone number to book in with myself. So I can also provide you with referrals to other health professionals, specialists and therapists. And there are several community-based services, workshops and programs that we can provide you details for. Sabina has given us great insight into mindfulness today, and there are other therapies, practices such as yoga, Pilates, that can also be very helpful too. For example, there's Live Life, Get Active, that is a registered health promotion charity that offers free outdoor activity camps and wellbeing and nutritional programs right across Australia. So I guess one positive outcome of the COVID pandemic has been easier communication and access to support, various workshops, courses. So there's plenty that we can share with you. Many patients and carers I've spoken to have downloaded some of these useful applications onto mobiles and other devices, and they've found these very helpful in terms of being able to relax, to breathe, to connect mind and body, and also very helpful for falling asleep. The Headspace Meditation, so just as Sabina has shown us with meditation, the Headspace Meditation has been shown to help people stress less, focus more, and sleep better. It's meditation made very simple, and some of them are just between 3 to 7 minutes long, so very easy to follow. Someone said of the Breathe app, I use it every night and almost every day to help me through a most turbulent and emotional time in my life. The Calm meditation and sleep app sends daily mindfulness quotes, so these are good to have daily reminders about being more mindful. Most of these apps have basic meditations that are free or have a 7 to 14 day free trial period, and subscriptions are usually between $60 and $95 per year. So again, I can talk you through these different apps and how to download them onto your devices. So as mentioned already, please do reach out to myself and to my team. Cara will give you more information about the PAN support team at the end, and we're all here for you. I'd like to hand you back to Sabina now for more mindfulness. Thanks, Sabina.
Thanks, Mira. There are so many resources, and in an hour there is only so much that we can share with you. So it's great that there are resources, counselling, and many more that you can tap into at Pancare Foundation. So it is an opportunity to be able to explore that a bit further, and hopefully this has seeded something for you. But what I wanted to just touch on is a beautiful comment that Jennifer made around, when I asked earlier on, I asked, where could you meditate and be mindful? Because to be honest, you're going through your journey, and there are others in this group that are going through a similar experience. So I wanted to tap into that journey, that expertise, that experience, and what you are going through day by day. And now that we've spoken about meditation and mindfulness, I'd love to get a bit of dialogue around where can you use it day to day. And Jennifer, you so kindly offered that you can use this and helps you with breathing during a MRI scan. And as we know, an MRI scan is really challenging in itself for some people. How can we use meditation and mindfulness whilst you're in there? So Jennifer, if you're happy to expand a little bit on that, or if there's someone else in the group that has used meditation and mindfulness or has got some ideas of perhaps where you could insert this into your day, in your journey, that would be absolutely fabulous, so we can begin to support each other during this journey. So if you have any ideas, that would be great. And I'll just chat a little bit more about some other techniques that you can use in the moment. And this other one I absolutely love. It is about finding your pulse with your thumb. And the reason for that is because we have a pulse in our thumb and we want to feel the sensation of the pulse. Remember, meditation is about moving from thinking to sensing. So we're going to count the pulse. You count from 1 to 10 and 10 down to 1. Now this is a really versatile one that you can bring wherever you are, being present in the moment and counting your pulse. So that's one example of a mindfulness exercise that you can do in the moment. And there are so many more. So Sandra says, deep, slow breathing during a CT scan yesterday. Thank you for sharing that, because it's one thing saying it, but it's another, how do we actually apply it? Because it can be really challenging. And so Sandra, you demonstrated that yes, it is possible. It would have been challenging and it takes time. You don't just get it and then that lands. It's about next time you go to the CT scan, see if you can try a few other techniques and try and practice that over time. So I am going to finish this up soon. But what I wanted to say is, are there any questions? Are there any any comments that people would like to make. And on the screen, I have my contact details and ways that you can stay connected with me online. Now, LinkedIn is a platform that I use a lot. So if you have resources and you want some tips and articles and ideas, I share quite freely on LinkedIn and some of my other social platforms. I have a 4 R's course that is a reasonably priced course. It's not expensive, so it's $29 per course or $99 for all 4 of them. If you're in Australia, that's Australian currency. And then if you just want to send me an email and share how you're going or ask me any questions, I'm more than happy to share all of that with you as well on your journey. So I want to also just say thank you so much for coming along today. Whether you're watching this after when it's been recorded, it's been such a joy to spend this time with you, and thank you for coming along. And I'll just read the final chats and then close up today. Yes, I find it really helps with the noise and the cramped situation. I do a mini meditation before I go in and then imagine a peaceful visual place while deep breathing. Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing your experience. And again, there is a wealth of knowledge between the journey that you're going through and being able to connect. And I know that you have some great groups that you're able to connect with, and Pancare Foundation is doing some great things. So Kara and the team, thank you so much for having me along and the opportunity to be able to share with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sabina, for that wonderful presentation. I think the bringing in of videos that were particularly touching and had a lot of different analogies, ways that I didn't think of meditation or mindfulness before. The jar with the glitter was really interesting. And just understanding how people use meditation, even mini meditations, to help them through the daily challenges of a cancer diagnosis and cancer treatment and therapy and ongoing is really important strategy for helping patients and carers. So thank you so much for sharing that. Mira, thank you so much for running the audience through our services within Pan Support and Pancare. You can connect with Sabina as well as the Pancare team. And our Pancare team, just to remind you, we've got Sonia, who's the support manager. We've got Shannon, who's our specialist upper GI cancer nurse. And we have Mira, of course, who presented today. So we're all very much looking forward to hearing from you. And thank you especially to the audience today. The interaction with the chat function was wonderful, and we loved hearing your experiences and stories, and we hope to connect with you again through Sabina's programs and some mindfulness and meditation to continue. So thank you very much to everyone on the call today, and we'll be posting this video afterward. And again, the Pancare Living Well series could not be what it is without the support of the Dry July Foundation. So thank you to Dry July, as well as just one last little bit is the survey at the end. It's just a couple of quick questions. If you wouldn't mind filling out the survey, that will help us determine the best presentation to come for the Living Well series. So thank you so much to everyone for your attendance today.